students, this is a short video on translation and their rules, which is very important for linguistic purpose as well. So I'm reading and trying to make you understand about what are the rules for translation. In this article, learn the concept, the grammar translation method, also work on translation exercise. Translation rules in this article will help you. So let us see. The grammar translation method is a part of English pedagogy and will help you your journey to learn, write, speak English. Here classes are taught in the mother tongue with little active target language use. So usually in the class we use mixed language, Hindi and English language. Here are proven ways to learn translation rules. You can practice with translation exercise that can improve your score. So what is grammar translation method? The grammar translation method has different names such as oldest method, classical method, traditional method, and Prussian method, which is in US. So popular at the primary stage in this method, the word is framed in sentences. So that is first of all word, right, which is used in the sentence. Anything taught to students in the classroom, the teacher tries to teach them in their mother tongue to make learning easy and approachable. So yeah, it happens. Even it happens when I would like to share my experience that when I was in Maharashtra area and I was trying for the job. So they say they denied and they say that no, sorry, because you cannot teach them English. Why? Because you are not familiar with Marathi. So you need to know basic Marathi, then only you can reach to students mind. Because any language, foreign language or L2 is taught through L1, means local or mother tongue. L1 is mother tongue. So which is happens that teacher teaches students in their mother tongue, right, to make learning easy and approachable. Now teachers read every sentence and translate it into their mother tongue to make learning understandable. Here a teacher explains every word in their mother tongue. It happens, I told you that even we explain in Hindi. So this is very normal that teacher use mother tongue when she teaches any foreign language, right? Okay. Now the major focus of this grammar translation method is reading and writing, right? So, and not speaking and listening, reading and writing, right? So when we do grammar translation, so our focus will be on reading and writing. Okay. I'm reading, and suppose after my after reading I would write something. So then when we do grammar translation, so we use two things, that is reading and writing. Okay, students are considered passive learners in this method, right? So that they are not very much active but passive learners. Directions, the direction in the grammar translation method defines how to use the method. First, its path or direction of uses known to unknown, means that student emphasize or promote new things which they don't know, but with the help of what they know. So first of all, how to move, so that first of all students, they know to unknown, right? Known to unknown means uh, they should be familiar with the unknown facts, right? Number two, way of understanding. By the grammar translation method, students are supposed to learn grammar through rules and deductively, right? So that, of course, it happens when we learn English language, foreign language, that is L2. Any language can be L2. So L2 in India, in Madhya Pradesh belt, that's L2 is English, suppose, right? So what happened, that first we are supposed to learn grammar. Of course, we learn grammar rules deductively, means how to use, right? That is given, these instructions are given. Here deductively means step by step, means when a kid is taught for very basic grammar. So in the beginning he is taught that words or letters, right? Then words, small words, then sentence, then very small, very little grammar. For example, uh, when he comes in fifth, sixth standard, then he's taught that this is subject, this is verb, this is object, this way, right? So that is deductive, Hannah. Then what he says, that here deductively means step by step. If you want to teach students the topic noun, you should first explain the definition of noun, then rules and grammar. So then whenever you teach your students about noun, so then first definition of noun, who, what is called noun, right? Then where to use noun, so that is rules, and then different examples of noun. So this is called deductive. Now method of instruction. The method of instructions for understanding the grammar translation method is the language in which we deliver our speech to understand students better, since as decided it should be a regional language, right? So method of instruction is regional language, what language we use on daily basis. Through that language we learn grammar of another language, as their regional language is their mother tongue. It makes understanding easier. I told you, I gave you example that Marathi English teaching was not allowed without Marathi. They said that you have to be familiar with Marathi, then only you can teach here. Why? Because through mother tongue we can teach uh, L2 or any foreign language. So that is the method of instruction, or we can say that the tongue of instruction is mother tongue. Now focus. The focus of the grammar translation method is the rules of grammar. So focus is on the rules of grammar. Here grammar teaching is based on rules. So naturally focus is on rule. Uh, Still, I think that I have studied a lot about grammar and all, but still we have to revise sometime. We have to revise rules of language. So their focus is on rules of language in grammar translation. Merits and demerits of translation, grammar translation method. Merits are economical, because not like easily it can be, translation can be done. Convenient, because if we are familiar with the rules, so it is easy to translate what we can source text, and that is the uh, source text into targeted text. Okay, then time saving, so that is immediately you can suppose if I am writing that um, for example, if I am writing हमेशा सतर्क रहिए, इसका आपको इंग्लिश में ट्रांसलेशन करना है, तो है ना। अब यहाँ पे क्या है, बी अलर्ट ऑलवेज, है ना। तो ऐसा अगर हम ट्रांसलेशन करते बड़ा इजी हो जाता है। कोई भी एग्जाम्पल, कोई भी सपोज मैं भी वीडियो बना रही हूँ, तो आई एम मेकिंग अ वीडियो राइट नाउ, है ना। तो बहुत इजी हो जाता है इस तरह से करना। इट्स अ टाइम सेविंग, क्लैरिटी भी रहती है, राइट। सो दीज आर द मेरिट्स, है ना। देन फ्यूअर चांसेस ऑफ वैगनेस, बहुत कम चांस है जहाँ क्लैरिटी नहीं है, otherwise there is clarity. Vocab builder, because we have vocab of both the languages. Then appreciative theory, learning is to connect both old and new ideas, so that is supporting. And then correct knowledge, so we need to have correct knowledge, and then Hindi grammar and English grammar, so that's the advantage. And shortest way, and for every situation, and art of translation, so these are the merits. Demerits are getting obsolete. I was to speak in the beginning, now even translation is the obsolete because of number of very good software, right. So that this method is become obsolete. As seen in private schools, there is only one language to get privilege, that is English. So it is diminishing the impact of another language usage. So now this method, grammar translation, is old method. No focus on speaking, intonation and pronunciation. There is less focus on speaking, intonation and pronunciation in the grammar translation method. It can have harmful effect on the student. So that's a direct, just one thing, which is just grammar, and their focus is not on speaking part. Now, loss of correct effect, if you focus on a single language and translation it every time, you may lose the correct effect of another language. Of course, just I am giving you another example. If I say that uh, जो आज की नौकरी बहुत कठिन है, रोज़ मरना पड़ता है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, सो दैट मरना पड़ता है, दैट इज वी हैव टू फाइट, वी हैव टू स्ट्रगल, बट देन द वी हैव टू स्ट्रगल एंड रोज़ मरना पड़ता है, तो वी हैव टू डाई डेली, अगर ऐसा ट्रांसलेशन हो जाता है। जबकि ये मतलब नहीं है, इसका मतलब है कि यू हैव टू स्ट्रगल अ लॉट, सो दिस वे मीनिंग डिस्टॉर्ट हो जाता है। तो व्हाट दे आर सेइंग दैट हियर, they are saying that the same, that's a loss of correct effect। तो ये जो इफ़ेक्ट है ये नहीं आ पाता उतना, है ना। तो यहाँ पे ये डिसएडवांटेज है इसका। चलिए फिर, फॉर इंस्टेंस सम idioms, दैट्स अ वेरी बिग प्रॉब्लम। idioms that belongs to English when translated lose their effect. For example, थोथा चना बाजे घना मीन्स एम्प्टी वेसल मेक्स मच नॉइज। पर आप अगर दोनों को कंपेयर करो, एन एम्प्टी वेसल मेक्स मच नॉइज का मतलब ही होता है कि खाली दिमाग शैतान का घर, या बहुत ज़्यादा जिसके पास कुछ नहीं है तो वो ज़्यादा आवाज़ करता है। लेकिन इसका हिंदी ट्रांसलेशन, हिंदी वर्जन इज़ वेरी डिफरेंट, दैट्स अ थोथा चना बाजे खाना। तो फिर इसमें ट्रांसलेशन में बहुत ज़्यादा दिक्कत आती है। फिर कांट एक्सप्लेन एंड ट्रांसलेट एवरीथिंग, टीचर्स कैन नॉट एक्सप्लेन एंड ट्रांसलेट एवरीथिंग। पूरी एक एक बात को, उस फीलिंग को, सेंटिमेंट को समझ के ट्रांसलेट करना नॉट पॉसिबल इस मेथड से, है ना। फिर अनऑर्थोडॉक्स मेथड, और ये मेथड बहुत ज़्यादा यूज़फुल नहीं मानी जाती है ना। फिर some important translation rules. A tense is in translation rule may be defined as that form of a verb that indicates the time and the state of action or event. क्या बोल रहा है वो? A tense in translation rule may be defined as that form of a verb that indicates the time and the state of action. तो ये रूल्स के लिए कि टेंस बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है. अ टेंस इन ट्रांसलेशन रूल मे बी डिफाइंड एज दैट form of verb that indicates the time and the state of action. Of course, tense is used for time. Translation rules are different for all tenses and different translation exercises. Number one, three tenses construct the base of translation rules: present, past, and future. These tenses have further divisions, but foremost understand tense and their translation role, right? So present tense in translation rules depend on four further divisions of it. Translation exercise also mentioned below. So that's the presentation as the present indefinite tense, right? So here first form of verb, if the subject is third person singular, then SES. Right from beginning childhood we are learning the same. वह मुझे जानता है, he knows me. तुम्हारी बहन खेलती है, your sister plays, है ना. तो इस तरह से ये होता है सिंपल प्रेजेंट टेंस. फिर प्रेजेंट कंटिन्यूस आईएनजी, है ना. हम लोग खेल रहे हैं, वी आर प्लेइंग. वह दौड़ रहा है, ही इज़ रनिंग. फिर प्रेजेंट परफेक्ट टेंस में अभी अभी जो काम हुआ है, तो यहाँ पर क्या आ जाएगा, हैज़ या हैव के साथ. तो वह स्कूल गया, ही हैज़ गॉन टू स्कूल. वे लोग जा चुके हैं, दे हैव गॉन. प्रेजेंट परफेक्ट कंटिन्यूस, अब प्रेजेंट भी है, सॉरी हाँ प्रेजेंट तो है ही, परफेक्ट कंटिन्यूस, परफेक्ट भी है और कंटिन्यूस भी है. तो कोई काम जो अभी हो रहा है ना, कभी शुरू हुआ है और अभी भी हो रहा है, वह कहता रहा है. ही हैज़ बीन सेइंग, मतलब पहले कभी कहना शुरू किया, अभी भी कह रहा है. मैं खाता रहा हूँ, आई हैव बीन ईटिंग, है ना. तो मैं ऐसे ऐसे रेस्टोरेंट में अक्सर जाता हूँ, खाता रहा हूँ, है ना, इस तरह से. फिर थर्ड पर्सन सिंगुलर इंडिकेट्स, थर्ड पर्सन सिंगुलर ना, मतलब आई और यू को छोड़कर सब थर्ड पर्सन होते हैं ना, सके, ठीक है. फिर पास्ट टेंस, तो पास्ट टेंस में क्या हो जाएगा, तुमने खेला, आई वेंट, दे केम, है ना. पास्ट कंटिन्यूस में आ जाएगा, आई वॉज ईटिंग, वी वर रीडिंग, ऐसे. तो ये टेंसेस हैं, इसको पढ़ लेना, क्योंकि राइट फ्रॉम बिगनिंग आप पढ़ रहे हो. मैं इसमें यहाँ एक और बता देती हूँ आपको. फ्यूचर परफेक्ट कंटिन्यूस टेंस, कि कभी फ्यूचर में वो काम हो रहा होगा, है ना. तो इस तरह से कंक्लूजन ये है कि हियर यू हैव लर्न अबाउट grammatical translation method and their implication in school. You also learned about the merits and demerits of grammatical translation methods. So it promotes the students to learn in their mother tongue to develop on an understanding. It leads to enhancing their basic skills that are necessary for all aspects. From the beginning, there are several translation rules and also translation exercises. So that is something little, very little knowledge about translation, but I'm going to make another video on translation. Thank you so much. Bye.